Good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News. I did not hear a single thing from the introduction there, but I'm rest assured it worthy. I want to make it a bit more secluded in here, a bit more. I don't know. I'm not using green screen tonight. Because I can't be arsed. There we go. Let's go for none. Because well, I pull it back and then I put some up, and I've got and then I can't hardly move in this wheelchair. They get trapped under woos, and so it gets trapped under woos, and then I'm always fine about. So, it's just because this is just like an after dark show. I thought, well, do we have the green screen? Good evening, good evening from me and Watson as well. Good evening. Come here, Watson. Come here. Good boy. Say hello to everybody. Come on, jump up on here. Say hello. 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 Come on. There he goes. Say hello to everybody, look. Say hello. 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 There you go. There's Watson and his little tail going. Yeah. There you go. So, how's your week been? It's been all right here. Let's see who is in the chat room. Spanish Chicken, evening, Jason. Good evening to you, Spanish Chicken. Marco Serengeti. Marco Serengeti, good evening to you. Donna Caddy, hi to you, and also your other half. Dinny, good evening to you. Everything's all right in Germany. Yeah, hi folks. Had to thumbs down because of the picture of Jon the Wedger. Yeah, well, we'll be talking about that. Best intro ever, Jason, says Sean Hamer. I don't know what that means. Thought it were good. N2 says idiot. Yoon is there as well. Hey, Jason. Danny Jones, Hoax Police. Here we go. How you go? How are we doing, Danny Jones, Hoax Police? Is John really Anna Breeze housebound? Asking for a friend? I don't know. Is John really Anna Breeze housebound? Do you know that's not bad? And Sharon Gale, good evening to you. Hello. I was speaking to Sharon today. If you've not seen Sharon's videos, then click on her name and it'll take you to a YouTube account, and save it for later on after I've done here. But I had a word with Sharon today about John and other people as well. So she's going to be on the show on Tuesday next week, and we'll be dishing the dirt. She will be dishing the dirt on Jon Wedger. I mean, I watched the video that she sent me, the video that he did last night, and I mean, it was quite pathetic, really. I don't think there was a single word in it that were truthful. I don't know if I'll be able to. I think I might be blocked by him, so I might be able to play a bit of it. But I mean, you were talking about name. I can't name anybody. He says. So what's point? It might as well not be. But it might as well not be. Not even be doing anything, is he? If you can't name names and individuals, he's got these witnesses apparently, and I don't know what we're up with him. I mean, everybody knows I like to have a drink, but I'll tell you that, and I'm having one now. It is Thursday night. Thursday used to be a good night for drinking. An excuse for drinking, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, on Tuesday, Sharon will be on the show. We spoke today, a very, very interesting discussion we had today regarding Jon Wedger. I've interviewed Jon Wedger a couple of times back in the days when I think Andy, first of all, got him on. You know, when it used to be the rounds, the used to go round certain people and do the rounds and everything. And Jon Wedger were in that, and I never really liked him. I couldn't quite put my finger on what it were. If I had to put my finger on it, it'd have been that. So I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I don't like him. So, and I watched his video that he did yesterday, and it was just incredible. He's walking around what seems to be some sort of flat roof in London somewhere, talking about just nonsense, really, just things that that people that are he's had. I think he said he'd had about 3 or 4 meetings that day with people. He was talking about having meetings with MPs. Now we know MPs are all that. Look, we just don't trust Jon Wedger. I mean, there's plenty of them that we don't trust. There's plenty of them that we don't trust, and I go into a bit of bothered by saying that I didn't like Ian Crane. Well, Ian Crane, I still stand by that. I don't believe Ian Crane. I think Ian Crane's made a career out of this sort of thing when he got probably kicked out of the petroleum industry and the oil industry or whatever. Look. All I'm interested in is what's real. Okay, I'm interested in what's real, and I don't think Jon Wedger's real. But we'll be talking about that on Tuesday. Myself, I'm going to say Michelle Gale, and Michelle Gale when she in EastEnders in the 80s, and yeah, she had a hit, didn't she? She had like Soap Stars did back in the 80s. They used to have it. Anyway, Sharon Gale that we're going to have on Tuesday evening, and we'll be discussing that. Apart from that, how's your week been? Has it been good? Fiddler on the Roof, starring Jon Wedger. Yeah, I think that's a good one. That just about works. That's all it is, isn't it? He's fiddling. There's loads of them about. Ian R. Cringe is the future, says the Dalai Lama. He isn't the future, is he? I mean, according to him, he were in his last few hours, but they're quite a long last few hours, and I don't want to speak ill of people that are ill, but if I were in that position, I certainly wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been trying to talk to you and get some money out of you and what have you. Tom Beresford says, "Hey Jason, good evening to you, Tom Beresford. You can watch on Facebook and you can watch on YouTube. You can watch YouTube on Raconteurs News, subscribe. Yeah, Raconteurs News. Sorry about this. I've just woke up. I had a. It's not the future is a very naughty boy. Mascara snake. I've just woke up. I fell asleep on Saturday watching old The Bills, so I'll probably start talking like them. And yeah. Oh, Jon Wedger, you fucking slag! Get your ass down. Doing all that, giving it all that. But also, is Jon Wedger late? No, he's not coming on. He's not coming on. Sorry to disappoint you, Tom. I'm not having Jon Wedger on. No. Awkward. But I also wanted to point out that this whole mask thing's going crazy as well. Vistaprint have got this advert out. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm going to try and find it. In fact, on YouTube and see if it'll play. And it's incredible. This is not the first line is this is not a mask. This is freedom. How can a mask be freedom? Mask. This is not a mask. Vistaprint. There we go. This is here it is. I'll mute it. I'll see if it finally goes. I'll play it. But you know what my laptop's like? It just don't want to play things like this. Yeah. But anyway, it's an advert, and this is not a mask. This is this, or this is. It's not a mask. It's freedom, or it's not a mask. It's There's a few of these adverts. There were a lovely advert about, and it started off with two young girls meeting on holiday and things like that, and then throughout the lives. Oh, there we go.
This is confidence.
It's for getting out.
This is not a mask. This is confidence.
Right, I think this must be American version. I'll screen share with it. Chrome tab. There we go. Share. There we go. So here we go.
It's for getting out.
Not a mask. This is confidence.
It's for getting out. And working anywhere other than home.
This is not a mask. This is solidarity. It's for opening the door to a friend and keeping the doors open to your favorite places.
This is not a mask. This is a sign of love.
Oh, I wish we'd got the British version. The British version. Let me get rid of that. Stop screen. The British version, at the end, it says, let's see if I can find that one. That's the one I've just done. But the UK advert, it says at the end that it's not, it don't protect you from it's just a mask. It don't protect. It says it's not PPE, and that it's not going to protect you from anything. So what's the point? I mean, it seems that it's freedom. It says this is not a mask. It's freedom. It's not freedom. Yeah, it is freedom. You can go out and do what the fuck you want. You've got a fucking muzzle on. Who wants to wear a muzzle? And do you know how many people in this country that would be chomping at the bit to ban the burqa, but are wearing a mask? They're wearing a mask themselves. You know, it's gonna suffocate you, as Johnny Jam Shovel says. They'll suffocate you. It's not a mask. It's a dogging shield. It's not a mask. It's fucking bollocks. What is it? What is it if it's not a mask? Oh, Vistaprint mask UK advert. Let me see if I can find it, because it says at the beginning it's freedom. See if yes, in the comments on this it says George Orwell pretty much nailed it, didn't he? And this is true. This is true. This is what's happening. People, this is becoming. It's become. They're trying to make it trendy. You know how people are always wanting to do the trendy thing. You know, they want to be seen to be trendy, and they want to be seen to be doing the good, the trendy and good thing. And you put a mask on, man, for God's sake. Mind if I come, Unit? No, not tonight. I think I'm not going to be on long enough. So, good evening, Webby. To you, sane man. It's absolutely mad. This is not a mask. And then at the end, it tells you that it's not going to protect you. It's not PPE, and it won't protect you from anything. It's not, it's not. It's not a medical item. It's just a mask. It's to hide your face. Hide your face. Ooh. I think I can do this. I think. They'll be doing. You know what they'll be doing next? It'll be them. Them like windscreen things that they've got. That they have put around the red, and there's a windscreen. They'll have tinted ones. And you'll get like, somebody, how they put the names on them. You used to put your name on it, like on car windscreens in the 80s, and it'd say Wayne and then Waynetta or just Wayne, and it's just beyond me. It's becoming more than a joke. And what can we do? I mean, we're sat here, and if you say, I went to Corb earlier on, and there were nobody in there with a mask on. Nobody, not a single person. No matter what they're doing with this stuff, that there weren't a single person, not even a member of staff, with a mask on. It's not working, but it's just so. I think Mark Devlin put it today on a status. Is if you listen to such and such, we're on the cusp of this brand new awakening, and everybody's going to be the utopia that's going to be around us afterwards is going to make us, it's going to be the making of mankind. And if you listen to other people, I can't remember the first person he mentioned, but then, if you listen to other people, that's it. We're all fucked and we're all doomed. I think he was talking about Max Egan, actually. If you listen to Max, we're all fucked Egan. I mean, it's just I think we're all fucked anyway, aren't we? If what is it next? What happens next? Come on, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go to be able to be able to go down to chip shop and that? What if they said to you, you've got to go completely naked? They'd do it, wouldn't they? The people that do it, it's ridiculous. The amount of people in this country that have just given up. They seem to have given up. If you can vape through a mask, virus can get in piss easy. Total insanity. It is total insanity. It is total insanity, and it's not even funny. Let's see if this will work. I think it's same one. Oh God, fucking this laptop is absolutely shit. And when I try and stream when I try and put a YouTube video on, it takes ages to come on, so I can't. God, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you that one. Old what's his face yesterday. What's his name? Wedger. Jon Wedger, the man that looks like he's about to burst into tears all the time. Every time you see him. Okay, Alan. Well, I don't know what answer is. Well, I do. I do know what answer is. I don't believe in it, but I do know what the answer is, and the answer's getting rid of. Where is everybody anyway? I've not seen anything of anybody at all. That's. Are they going to? What they're going to do? Are they going to? Have they all fucked off and they're going to leave Philip Schofield to take it all? You know, because I'm sure he can. I mean, he's. You know, he can take the. If you can suck the wrapper off a Cadbury's cream egg while wearing a mask, email me. That's the Dalai Lama. So yeah, email him. If you can smell a fart while wearing a mask, then the virus can get in and out. That's easily. That is a good point, Alistair. I don't know. I've not worn a mask while someone's farted. I know my dog farts quite a lot. Spanish Chicken says waiting for mandatory tinfoil hats. They should be. The answer is God. I don't know how you. I don't know how. How do you explain that? I mean, the answer is God. I mean, what, Webby? I mean, you're gonna have to. You've got to explain that. I mean, God's not the answer, is it? If there is a God, I've got loads and loads of questions for him. I don't know if you're talking about a God or the God or what? Because I mean, if you're talking about God as in Christianity, then you're talking about just one. There's millions on them. There's 3,000, aren't they, around the world? 3,000 different deities. Yeah. God, gold, oil, and what's the other one? Destruction. God, oil, and death. Gold. Did God give us COVID-19, Webby? Good question. Webby's been playing with his burning bush again. Listen, Webby, if you want to come on and tell me what you mean about God being the answer, I don't quite get that, because I mean, for me, God's not an answer. It's not an answer. Oh, what the fuck? Ooh, N2 blocked again then. Thanks, Jason. You're not blocked. I can see your fucking message. Have a day off. Whoever the fuck you are, have a day off. Fuck's sake, it does me fucking head in. The Chinese have been wearing masks since the 80s. So how come they still caught the virus in Wuhan, in the Wuhan outbreak? It proves they don't work. Can I come on about masks, Richard G? Of course you can. Richard, I'll pop the there we go. I'll pop the link in, Richard, if you want to come on and talk to us about masks. If Webby wants to come on and sorry, he did put some afterwards actually, but it went down quicker than I could read it. One God, pal, not the son of God. That's satanic. Okay. I don't know. Shut up, Jason. It's my fucking show. You shut up. Ooh, N2. Jesus Christ. Do you know, Richard? Yeah, if you want to come on, just click that link. and you'll be able. Sons of God. Okay. There we go. Here we go, Richard. Once your devices are working, I'll be able to add you to it. Here we go.
Hello. Can you hear me?
It will do something in a minute, Richard. It's this laptop. It's just so fucking crap. Good evening.
Okay. Good
Can't hear
evening,
you, pal.
Jason. Good evening, Jason. How are you?
Can't hear you.
How about now?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Hello. How about now?
Mushroom Management, can I be seen here? Yes, you can. I can't hear you, Richard. We're gonna have to do something. Have you got mic? Everything you've allowed it to do it?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And we still can't hear you. Try going out and coming back in. See if that works.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Got you. I've got you. Yeah, I can hear you.
You got me?
I can hear you.
What, you got me now? Okay.
Yes, I've got you now.
Hello.
Brilliant.
Good evening.
Richard,
Good evening.
tell us about masks.
Yeah. Good evening, Jason. How are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I just woke up actually not long ago. Must be about 8:45. My missus says, "You're going on at 9," and so I laid on recliner and we're watching telly, and I fell asleep. But yeah, I'm all okay. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Like been at work, stuff like that. Yeah, like I said, I just want to come on about this mask thing. Now, I remember watching your one of your shows a few days back, about a week ago or so, I think it was, when I think Leeds came on, said about he was shamed in wearing a mask. Can you remember that, Jason?
Yes, I can. Yeah, he wore a mask based upon he didn't want anybody to. I think he was just trying to avoid conflict.
Exactly. Now, when I was actually watching that, and I actually felt the same, because I was wearing a mask on and off. You see, on and off. So sometimes I wear a mask, sometimes I don't. But what I found is that even in local shops and big shops, you do not have to wear a mask. Now, they do not say nothing. Even though I'm a bit dubious, because obviously the government now has said a massive increase in the fines, haven't they? From what is it, £100 up to £3,000 odd pounds if you continue to wear the mask. Now, to me, I've been comparing this ever since I watched your show, Jason. I've been comparing that with this mainstream media crap, and to my own decision, I've decided that I'm not going to wear a mask no more. There's no actual evidence to say that there's no actual evidence to say that a mask is actually protecting people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely understand what you mean. Yeah. And you get these adverts for like Vistaprint where they're doing these masks, and it says at the end, "This is not PPE. This is not going to protect you from anything. It's just a fashion accessory." And it just means if it's a fashion accessory, it means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I asked you, Jason, to come on this evening is because I was a mask wearer, on and off, stuff like that. So basically, I don't know whether it's a reassurance or anything. It might not be, but yes, if you go into shops, some shops won't let you in, obviously. But the main supermarkets and like say stuff like the Spar shop and all your local little shops, you know, what are run by, sorry to say, foreigners, they will let you in without a mask. You see, it's only shops like, say, I don't know, TK Maxx, where I live. You can't come in without a mask. Or like other shops like that. But I've been in Boots without a mask. You know, it's on and off. I've tried to test it, like, you know, because obviously I don't want to get a fine and stuff. But I honestly, Jason, I honestly think that there is nothing to worry about if you go into a shop now without wearing a mask. If you're actually that worried, put a mask in your pocket, and if a security guard comes up to you and says, "Can you put a mask on, please?" or you have to leave the shop, then you can say, "Okay, then," or you can decide to leave the shop.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So,
I mean, listen, it's all about choice. It's all about personal choice. If you don't want to get into a confrontation with somebody, all you've got to do is have a mask in your pocket. And if they insist, then stick it on. And then when they've gone, get rid of it. But
exactly.
It's all about personal choice, but the personal choice has got to be about. I mean, this is nonsense, and you're doing it simply because you're being told to do it. You know, people that do wear masks, and you know, I've seen less and less. The shops that I go to, and I don't go far. I just go on my Spaz chariot just down to local co-op. Nobody will wearing a mask today. You know, nobody at all. Not one single person. Not even anybody. Not even any of staff. So it's just it makes a mockery of everything that, you know, that we all do. I mean, how you know what someone's intent is through their facial expression. Now, 99% of people will walk past you with no ill intent towards you.
Yeah.
But somebody at once out of a million times, maybe somebody will walk past you who've got ill intent and you can't see because half the face is covered up. Because a lot of information is gathered from somebody. When you gaze and look at somebody's face, the information that's gathered, you don't know it, but the information that you're gathering is then forming a picture of whether you need to fight or flight or do nothing, you know. And that information being taken away by Vistaprint. I mean, Vistaprint, for God's sakes, they're even PPE. Why would you wear it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think, like, you know, with Vistaprint and like businesses like that, that is just about money making. That's, you know, I think that's all it is. It's just like a business, and they're just hooking onto this, like, you know, thing that something that's made up, and they can make money out of it. It's the same as like all these other shops and that, like River Island, I noticed, have got children models, like mannequins, with masks on, like, you know, that you can buy for your children. But the government clearly states, you know, children under, is it 11 or 12 or something, they don't have to wear masks. But then before, the government said, like, you know, children are high risk of causing this stuff, and now they're not. Now they're not, because now they can go back to school. I mean, this is like totally ridiculous. Where do we stand? Like, you know, and I can't understand how so many people are still, like, you know, listening to the government advice about this. Is it actually the government, or is it the WHO? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I do know what you mean. And there's conflicting information anyway. I mean, someone will tell you that they don't do anything, and somebody will tell you that it does. And we know it doesn't. We know that it makes no difference. We know that COVID-19 it has been a false flag. It's the longest false flag we've had, but this is a false flag. Make no bones about it. It's something to terrorize people around the world, and you can tell it. But this is the way that you can tell who's been terrorized and who hasn't been terrorized, is by who's wearing a mask and who's not wearing a mask, and that's their way. I'm not saying if someone's wearing a mask, you know, that they're wrong. I'm just saying that it's not something I'm going to do. It's not something I'm going to do, and you can see it for what it is when people are trying to make money out of it, and it's not even PPE stuff. You know, it's not even pretending that it's going to help you. It's just saying, "Oh, this is fuck all this. Just stick it over your gob, and then you'll be able to get in anywhere." Woo! Because you're wearing a mask, and it's not even. You know, are the government going to say, "Well, okay, let's have a look at. You're going to have to." Every mask's going to have PPE written on it, and it's going to have to be some sort of because you know the government won't like private people, you know, interests getting in on this act, and they'll say, "Oh no, they're going to be banned, and you can only wear one of those if you've got one of ours underneath." You know, so you get one of their things underneath, and then you can put your fashion accessory over top. It's just complete. It's ridiculous in a way that I find difficult to understand why people can't see that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, there's obvious there are things what have been put on mainstream media to make people aware of that stuff. Like, you know, just what you said, Jason. You know, all this like masks that I think come from China. I think. If I remember rightly, there was millions of pounds because of like all this like duff masks. So that's all like, you know, have to be sent back. There's all this like hand sanitizer, like, you know, that was wrong, or, you know, has to be sent back. You know, lots of money. And who makes all this money? You know, who makes all this money? While everybody else, like me and you and everybody else who's listening, are suffering. Like, you know, they're telling us we have to wear a mask. You know, we can't. You know, you can go there, you can go there. You can't go there, you can't go there. I don't understand, because when I watch, well, I don't really watch the BBC, right? If I watch a news program in the morning. Okay, if I'm not at work, if I watch a news program in the morning, I will watch, say, Good Morning Britain, which is on ITV1, right?
Yep.
Now, that doctor, just recently, that doctor, what go on there, I don't think he's a real bloody doctor. Pardon my language. I don't think he is a real doctor, because he's basically...
Do you know the doctor's name? Can you remember the doctor's name?
I can't remember the doctor's name, because obviously,
is it that? It's not that Dr. Hillary, is it?
Yeah, Dr. Hillary. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Right.
Yeah. And when he comes out with all this crap, like about what you can and can't have, and all this, that, and the other, I'm thinking that really winds me up, Jason. I'm sorry to say, like, you know, but there's all these people. If you notice on the Facebook Good Morning Britain page on Facebook, there's loads of people supporting him and everything like that. And then you get these other adverts saying just recently, all this vitamin C's and all this natural stuff is, you can't, it won't make your immune system any better. Only vaccines and all this, that, and the other. You see,
yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, just recently, that's what made me change my mind. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, because I was in the middle, Jason, you know, and I was one. Now and again, I go into the shop with a mask on. Other times, I go into the shop without a mask on. No problems anytime. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm watching this mainstream media, and then I'm watching the alternative media, and of course your videos, of course, Jason, because you can't miss your videos, because your videos are like down to earth. That's why I love it. I love it, Jason. Your videos are some of the best. I'm telling you. And
Thanks for that.
I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked that you have not got over sort of 10,000 views or whatever. Like, I am really shocked. But perhaps that takes time. But yeah, and that's what made me
I've
think.
been at it 5 years.
5 years.
I think it was 2015. January 2015 was when I did my first interview with Andy. Me and Andy when we first started. So it's nearly 5 years ago.
I think, yeah. Well, I wasn't watching it. I wasn't watching your videos for that long, but I think the last time I watched, well, the first time actually I watched your videos was when I think it was the Webster report was on your channel. Is it?
Yeah. Webby, yeah. Webby were on, yeah.
Yeah, Webby, yeah. And then that went on to the guy from Portugal, the black guy from Portugal.
Owen.
Owen. He's quite an intelligent guy, I tell you. He's very good, and of course you are as well there, Jason. Because when I've seen you on your videos interviewing some of these other people, you know exactly what they're talking about, and you know exactly what to say. And that's why I enjoy your videos.
Well, thanks for that. I mean, I don't always know what to say. Sometimes I'm sat here thinking, oh my God, what the fuck am I going to say? Especially the other night, when I didn't swear at all. That was quite difficult. But yeah, it's something you get used to, and you sort of get your own style. And I've got my own style, and I'm not like other people. Everyone's got their own style. So, and I just happen to have my style. I don't know. We've been going at it for a while, but I don't do it for. I don't want to be, the biggest show in town. I just want to, talk to people, and have actual, like me and you are. I've never met you before. Which part of the country are you from, Richard?
I'm from Norfolk in Kings Lynn.
Oh, Kings Lynn in Norfolk.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Right. Well, so loads of bangers down there.
Loads of bangers.
Banger racing. People I used to come from. They used to go down to Kings Lynn banger racing all the time.
Yeah. You got the Speedway Stadium, which is down Saddlebow area, which is the south part of Kings Lynn. In West Norfolk, and they do caravan racing, like cars with caravans towed as well, as well as like banger racing. They also have Sky TV. Well, not recently, but before they had Sky TV there for the Speedway.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I remember. Listen, Kings Lynn. It isn't half a dog hole to get that to. It's honestly that road is it A17? Is it?
I think if you're coming up from your way, I think you'll end up coming in from the A17. Yeah.
I once had this real nightmare job.
Right.
Sorry, I once had this real nightmare job, and I had to. They said, my dad said to me, he says, I've got this job in me. He says, I want you to do it. It's like I had to go to Newcastle, to Gateshead and pick some up. And then I had to take it to Norwich, straight to So I went to Newcastle, then down to Norwich, and then back home. And in fact, I went to University of East Anglia in Norwich. And Norwich is
I know what you mean.
A great place. Getting in and out of Norwich is a nightmare. Yeah, so
it is. It is, yeah. Norwich City is like the roads are a nightmare. Like it's just like everything happening all at once, isn't it? There's loads of cars everywhere. There's you don't know where all these little streets coming up. Like you just don't know where to go, do you?
No.
But I'm sure. But you see, Jake. But you see, Jason, I think I'd be the same if I went to your area. I'd be like looking and thinking, oh, I don't like, where do I turn? Like, and all this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's yeah. It bad up here. Stabbings, lots of stabbings and stuff.
Stabbings.
It's not good. It's not good, is it? I mean, we're not as people. We're not being nice to each other, are we? It's
yeah.
We're having quite a bad time. Yeah. So you won't be wearing a mask anytime soon, then, Richard?
I don't think so. No. Not what I've done completely. My time. I've had plenty of time. Like I'm working. I tell you what I am. I'm a support worker. Okay. Like for people with learning disabilities and mental health problems, and nothing has happened. Nothing. Like even when, well, I have to be careful what I say. Even when parents come and pick them and stuff like that. But like my main actual reason for my change of mind, or my definite change of mind, is comparing the television, like the mainstream media, to alternative media, like yourself there, Jason, and other videos like that online. And that's the only reason, because all these doctors, what I've seen on Good Morning Britain, like say Dr. Hillary, he's a fake. I think he's a fake. I think he's just reading something what they're telling him to say. He's a nutcase. I think he's a nutcase, and a lot of the others are on there as well. Like what they're feeding this bollocks off to everybody. In the morning.
You've got to be some sort of psychopath, because these people, obviously, if it's a doctor, he knows that there are these concerns, unless he's completely oblivious to anything that's not BBC or ITV. He knows that there are these concerns around things like vaccines, like wearing masks. It's as a doctor, I mean, his Hippocratic oath was to protect life, and surely we know that masks don't do anything. We know that there's no protection afforded from a mask. There's no protection from, if I wear a mask, I'm not protected from anyone else. And if that person wears a mask, they're not protected from me. We know that.
Exactly. And plus there's been videos online as well, like, proving that, like, where your spit or like liquid, like fired stuff can actually go through the actual mask, like, and vapes, like, and smoke, like, can go through the masks. Like, I've been wearing a mask before I wore a mask in the local spa shop, and they've got a subway in there. Now, I can, when I put the mask on, I find it difficult to breathe, right? This is God's honest truth, because I'm not used to wearing one. So when I put it on, I find it difficult to breathe, but I can still smell the same smells what I smelled before without a mask on.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't understand it. I honestly don't understand it. And how come the government says, right, oh, any face covering will do. Any face covering. Like, I bought a private one for my personal self from eBay. Just a cotton one. I bought a couple of them for me and my partner. And we wear them because we go to church on Sunday, okay, and the masses, like, you know, the Catholic Church, which is ridiculous, is saying that we have to wear a mask, okay, if we want to attend mass. So we have a mask for that, right? But what's the difference, between all these other masks? What's going about? The blue ones, like, you know, all this and that. Now, in my line of work, right, there's all different types of masks, and a lot of people I've seen are wearing them blue ones with the little strings what go behind the ears. Yeah, you know the ones I mean, Jason. It's look, blue on the front. Yeah,
yeah.
They're the worst ones that you can wear. If you burn them with a lighter, they just melt. They're like plastic. They're basically like plastic.
They're going to be the next. They're going to be the next ecological disaster that's going on. They're going to be telling us that the oceans are full of these masks. It's as if we you know, you can see, if you understand the way that they work, you can see that that's going to be the next thing, is that the ocean's full of masks.
Yeah,
it's full of these masks that people are discarding. Yeah, carry on. Sorry. Yeah, exactly, Jason. When I walk to work in the morning, I see not loads, but several masks, what people just dumped on the floor. You know, they can't be bothered to put them in the bin. I see them on the floor. What is that going to do? Like, you know, if birds, or, you know, dare I say, rats eat it, or, like, you know, and stuff like that, or deers, like, you know, muntjac deers have a go at it. There was an article, I don't know if you saw it there, Jason, a while back. McDonald's in the UK, a young girl went to McDonald's with her parents. She choked on these chicken nugget things, and they had bits of masks in it. They had they had pieces of masks in these chicken nuggets. Well, obviously people don't care, and they just like dumped it, so somehow it's got into this food. And the government is saying, go eat this junk food. I've noticed, like, you know, you know, but it's the total. But what the government says is, you go and eat. But then they say, no, you can't go and eat. And I don't understand it, Jason. Honestly, this government is totally off their rockers. They really are. They're off their rockers, Jason. And I think, really, something needs to be done about this, because if not, it's going to get totally out of hand. Well, it's out of hand now. It's out of hand anyway, isn't it? I mean, we've got the ridiculousness of football being back in, you know, being played, and you've got people in the stands that you know, part of the teams that are there, and the, you know, the backroom staff, they're all sat wearing masks, and the guys on the pitch are all hugging and kissing each other when they've scored. You know, when they just you know, if you can't see it now, I don't know when you're going to be able to see it. I really don't know when you're going to be able to see it. That it's you know, I understand, right? I understand people wearing masks. I completely understand people don't want to get into confrontation, and simply for an easier life, they'll stick a mask on before they go into a shop. Okay, I completely understand that. Now, there's also a part of me that says we shouldn't do this. We should, you know, I won't wear a mask no matter what. I was supposed to go to the doctor's last week. I told you, I think I mentioned not not on the last show, but the show before, I was supposed to go to the doctors, and they sent me a text message that said, when you come, you need to wear a mask and have your phone with you. So
Yeah,
I said,
I know. Yeah. I heard you say it before there, Jace. Yeah.
yeah. So I rung them up and I said, I'm not coming. You know, I cancelled that. I'm not coming because it was to have my INR done. And I said, I'm not coming. And they said, and she said, well, why won't you come? And I said, I'm not wearing a mask. And I said to her, and this was true, I said, I've had anxiety ever since I knew I were going to have to come, because usually they come to me. So when I was going to them, and only because my wife's off work at the moment, I'm able to go to them. But the anxiety of thinking, I was having dreams where I couldn't breathe. And it were about having the anxiety. So I said, I'm not coming. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask. Anyway, they phoned me up afterwards and said, you were supposed to come in. And I said, well, I did try to cancel, but I got nowhere. I text the thing and everything. And she says, why did you cancel? I said, I'm not wearing a mask. There's no way I'm wearing a mask. And she said, that's not a problem. No problem at all. Will you come in on Monday? So I went in on Monday. I went down on Monday, and I got out of the car. My wife got the my wheelchair out, and I went up to. She went to the Lidl because she didn't want to come in with me because in case I sort of kicked off and what have you. So, but I went up, and you had to press a buzzer on the door, and they said, "Hello, have you got any of these symptoms? Have you got a sore throat or?" You having trouble with high temperature or anything like that? I said, no, not got any of that. And have you got your mask with you? I said, no, I'm not wearing a mask. And she says, oh. And then she went, I'm reading down your notes here. Yeah, you don't need to wear a mask. Come in and open the door for me and let me in. So I didn't have to wear a mask. There weren't very many people in there at that time. And the ones that were in there had not got masks on. I kept seeing nurses walking past with masks on, but I don't know. You don't know what. I don't blame the medical people at all. It's because they're told to do this. This is what they're told to do. But I don't want to be. I don't want to be included in somebody's mental illness. Someone's mentally ill.
Yeah.
And I think that we've got mass mental illness in this country. I mean, on a huge scale, so that anything that anybody who's sane would perceive normal seems abnormal to your general person, because they'll think, well, you're not wearing a mask, and they'll try to do all the things. You're not wearing a mask. If anyone's not wearing it, this is where it'll get to. If you bump into somebody who's not wearing a mask, go the opposite direction, do this, do that, do other. And by finding out who won't wear masks, they're finding out who won't take the vaccination. Where do you stand on the vaccinations?
Well, that's a big no-no. But by what I'm looking or what I've seen, this is from alternative media. I haven't seen it on the mainstream media yet, but on alternative media, places like Australia, maybe I don't know, New Zealand, I think, like around that area, they're basically saying you have to have it. You have to have it. There's no this is it's not like that. They're not saying like mandatory, or they're not saying like compulsory. They are saying a double whammy. You have to have it, but in two double whammy sentences. That's how sick they are. That's how sick the government are in Australia. And I don't know whether it was your show or another show, but there was someone I was listening on chatting and stuff, and oh yeah, that was your show, Jason, and that was the guy from Washington. What's his name?
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy
he was
he's backstage now. If you'd like to talk to him,
that's okay. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, what I was just going to quickly say was when he said before on one of your other shows there before that we have got it way easier than Australia. He is telling the truth. That is true. Them Australians, the police are horrible, are really horrible, like compared to our police. The government are really like sick in the head. Like, I mean, I know our government is sick in the head, but Australians, their government are mentally ill, Jason. Seriously. Well, what they're doing is that there is no need to do it. Absolutely no need to do it. And the charts, like, you know, there's nobody really dying. There's nobody dying, but they're just like testing and all this, and they've got this crap going on, like saying, "Oh, the numbers going up," and all this, like, you know, similar to what they do here, like the lying, the lies, and the cheating. They're cheating everybody, and it's all down to money. That's basically what it is. They don't care about us or our jobs or anything like that, or the shops. They don't care at all. They are concerned about what they're into and their money and this chain, what's going around, because like you can see it. You know, I've seen it. You know, I've just recently started to see this. You know, and I won't be voting no more, Jason. In any elections, I will not be voting for none of them. That's as simple as that. I'm cut off now. I'm cut off from it. I'm sick and tired of it now. I'm not going to be doing with it. Do you know what I mean?
Sick and tired, Richard. I think you speak for everybody when you say you're sick and tired of it. Look, I'm going to bring in Taylor, so you'll be able to have a chat with him. He's been waiting patiently backstage. I did say I wouldn't bring him in, but since he's not got super leads with him, I probably will. So here he goes.
Okay.
Taylor, how are you doing, mate?
Hello. Doing all right. Sorry if I'm bothering you. Hey, what's up, Richard?
Yeah,
sorry.
not too bad. How are you this evening?
I'm doing all right. I'm a bit frustrated, but I'd rather not talk about the reason on air. It's a bit private, and I don't want to cause a fuss.
Okay. So you're from, I think, Washington, DC?
No, Washington State. DC's not. DC's not a state itself. It's the capital of Virginia. It's like it's kind of like I know you guys had your own version of it in Britain, but I forget exactly what it's called.
Oh, right, yeah.
My geography skills are terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Washington State's different to Washington DC because that is in Virginia, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the top left corner of the U.S. where it's where Seattle is. So, aka Mr. Bill Gates' hometown. I'm not in Seattle,
where it rains all the time.
I rather it rain all the time than it be being 100+ degrees Fahrenheit. Oh God, I don't know how people deal with that with that heat. It's too much. Like, to me, if it hits anywhere like around 90 or higher, I can't do anything. I just sitting here. It becomes uncomfortable to even move around. Like, I don't know. You guys are probably more used to it because you're in hotter areas, but for me, it's just, oh man.
We are not in hotter areas, believe me. You know, we're likely to get about 3 or 4 days that it's over 30 degrees here. That's it, a year.
Oh, okay.
So rest of the time it's pissing it down like it has been for the last couple of days. Yeah, I don't know what it's like down there where you are, Richard.
Today it's not been too bad. I've been at work today and I've come back home. It's a bit humid, I suppose. You can call it like humid, like sweaty, but like now It's not too bad.
And we've got this one here. This is a question, Milwana. This is an interesting question that's just been posted. A copper stopped my boy from getting on a train because he lost his exemption card, and got him to get one out of the bin. Get a mask out of the bin, otherwise he wasn't getting home. I mean, God Almighty! We've got to collar this. They've got his collar number and everything. What does everyone think? I mean, what can you say about that? I mean, somebody's not got he's exempt. That's all he needs to say is I'm exempt, and that should be enough for the coppers. And they're getting him to get one out of a bin. I mean, would you really? I mean,
what it is, I think what it is there, Jason, is and a big hello to Milwana there. Is it Milwana?
Milwana,
yeah. I think what it is, there's a lot of like young police. I'm not saying they're bad, but they don't really know what to do in certain circumstances like that, and they just think of the first thing, like the first stupid thing, like and that's why we're run by stupid people. All of us, like say me, Taylor, and you there, Jason, and most probably loads of other people who's listening and watching. We are the clever ones. Like we could be the police. Like even though we look like Romans or whatever, but we could actually do a better job. In certain respects. Because, a lot of them young policemen, if one of them police have said to, I think Milwana, I think his name is, right, get the mask out of the bin to put it on. No, they should have been told already, because I see a lot of policemen wear masks in the car. Yeah, they're together as partners, but they're wearing bloody masks inside the patrol car. But when they get out to the incident, do they put the mask in the bin, or do they put the mask in their pocket and then put it on again when they get back in the car? Do you know what I mean? So they could be spreading it as well, and they don't even know. That's perhaps why some policemen don't even wear a mask, because they know. So in the police, you got the other half as well. You got one half of the police who believe in this crap, and you got the other half of the police who don't believe in the crap, but they can't say nothing to each other because there's a lot of bullying going on in the police force. They bully each other, don't they? It's obvious. It's obvious they do.
Yeah, and honestly,
and also you've also got to take into account that the type of people that they're recruiting at the moment, a lot of them won't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They won't wear the mask. I was ago, and none of them wore masks. Not a single one of them wore a mask in any point during the time that I'm with them. Nobody wore a mask, so it's sort of like, and whenever you see somebody arrested, there's a picture, there's a video somewhere, and none of the people arrested, I think there's about 6 people on her, coppers, and none of them have got masks on. You're a danger. You're a danger. But we're going to come over and we're going to put you into a situation where you're probably going to be shouting and screaming, and there's all sorts of saliva going to be coming out and things and stuff. So I think Taylor's probably gone for another shit. Yeah, you know what I mean. They put masks on at all.
But yeah, also you got to remember as well. Like just recently, there, Jason. Did you see? I think it was Yorkshire area. A policeman was suspended, a young policeman, for threatening to choke out a certain suspect he had on the floor who wouldn't stay still. Did you see that?
No, I didn't know. No, I bet it's South
Yeah.
Yorkshire Police. But
Could
fucking
have
right,
been.
but so them wankers, honestly, the worst.
It could have been, and that that then tells me that yes, they've gone past like the training, like the physical training and everything like that, and the exams, but they haven't gone past social, like social interaction. They don't know how to do it because like a lot of these police, they are clueless. They're clueless. They are actually robots, and they have not got a clue. If it was turned around on them, any money, that same policeman who picks on the public, that same policeman would go mad as well. They'd go mad as well. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Because I think half of the police in this country are corrupt, and they know it. They know it. Well, say like this, right? Half of the police, right? Half, right, are good. Yeah, they know what they're doing and everything like that. They know the laws. They know everything like that. The other half, especially nowadays, like the new ones coming in and everything like that. Recently, half. If you put half of that into another half, so you've got one half of that half are like just thick and stupid and like don't know no laws or nothing like that. All they know is like what they're told on the radio and jobs to go to, and they just like arrest anyone for any reason. The other half are like are violent and like sick fuckers that will bully their own staff, even their own staff. They'll bully, and also the public. Do you think that's true, there, Jason? Because I believe it is.
Well, I believe that there's a lot of coppers these days that are trained rather than educated. When you trained to be policemen, in other words, not told the laws that they're upholding, just what they can do.
Yeah, but now
they interpret that as being other things, and the powers that they've got are just ridiculous. The powers that they've got already, but they'll still overstep the mark.
Yeah, but once they got them powers, they've got them. You see, and they know how. They've got friends of friends, like most probably, who can back them up on all different sorts of stuff. That's why they stay in the job.
Yeah, yeah, of course,
they're like until they're really, really caught out. Like and I think like perhaps 9 times out of 10, it's not the public who complains about the police that gets them out. It's the other colleagues who's come forward, who loses their jobs for complaining about them. You see?
Yeah, but I mean, I've interviewed on this show somebody who worked for South Yorkshire Police, and he was sacked for whistleblowing. He was a principal intelligence analyst at South Yorkshire Police, Tony Farrell, and they asked him to write a report on terrorism and how it affected South Yorkshire in order to get some extra funding. And he wrote a report that said, well, there isn't any terrorism, it's all done by government. And duly they sacked him, and he went to an industrial tribunal, and you'll have to look him up if you've not come across him already. Look him up. I've interviewed him a couple of times, one particular one on Hillsborough, we did, which is really interesting. But yeah, these half of these coppers, they're put in the positions because they get into these positions because they're stupid. David Duckenfield got put into the position of the head in charge of the football match, the Hillsborough football match, because they knew he couldn't deal with it. they knew he couldn't cope with it. He'd never done anything like that before. So they knew that disaster were going to, you know, come out of this. They didn't quite know the amount of the disaster, but they, you know, they knew that it would be a disaster. And so I think that some people, if they are compliant, let's say, and don't ask questions and do anything, they'll get themselves up the ladder and right up to the very top. And then when they're at the very top, some of them are used in order to so if some, let's just say that there's some scandal involving police, they've got one of these chief constables that they can sack, or they can, no, they can retire him, because they never sack him, do they? You know, he'll have resigned and retired or whatever, retired on health grounds, and he's still got his, I don't know, 160,000 quid a year pension. But he's, you know, he's quiet and he's done his job.
Yeah.
All the way through his career.
Yeah, exactly. Where does that stand in your area there, Taylor? Like with the police, like, you know, on your opinion in your area, how do you think the police are on terms of, like, say, corruption, good, or, like, you know, in between?
Well, personally, if you ask me, I feel like the entire concept of police needs to be abolished altogether.
Get closer, Taylor. Get closer a bit, mate.
Oh, sorry. I said
that's it. Go on.
I said personally, I feel that the whole concept of police needs to just be abolished altogether. It's
really.
The whole idea of police is nothing more than to basically enslave the public. They're no different. They're basically the in-country version of the military. Basically, you know, the military sends across to other countries to go and terrorize other people. The police, the entire intention of the police from the very beginning has been to terrorize the public and to get them to be obedient to whatever their higher ups tell them to do. You know, to create order followers, blind order followers. That's the whole point of the police, and it's not really about them being corrupt. They're just it's like Parliament. It's like the government in Washington. They're doing what they were always intended to do from the very start, which is, you know, it just so happens to not be, you know, in our favor. And you're asking about to answer your question about my local area. Well, you got freaking shops who literally say cannot come in unless you have a fucking mask on, and and then you have the guards who, like, there are literally guards who patrol the sidewalk outside of the shop. And
hang on, I'm sorry, Taylor. Right, so when you go to the shop, yeah, if you want to buy something, right, you have to go past these guards.
Yes.
There's actually guards.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
It depends on the store, of course, but the fact that there are any that are like that is just absolutely disgusting.
Have you had any, like, interaction with these guards?
No, I don't go. I usually am not the one that goes shopping. It's my because I live with my parents. They're the ones who usually who do it, and of course they believe everything the MSM says, and it's like freaking, and they've even said, like my mom was saying earlier, she said that anyone who believes in conspiracy theories that comes up with them should be thrown in jail because they're mental. I didn't say anything, obviously, you know, and of course they're, you know, so yeah. I haven't touched a mask once since this whole thing started, and I don't intend to. You know,
you've done well there, Tyler. Yeah, you've done well. Well, you've done better than me. I'd like to tell you, especially you living in America, where they have guns as well. Like, you know, and it is difficult here, but now I've got my head around it. Like I was saying earlier to Jason. And also, I remember the last show. I don't know if you were listening when I was talking to Jason before, but the last show, or one of the other shows, Leeds was on. Was it Leeds?
Yes.
And he was saying about the mask. I think he might have been drunk or something, but he was saying about the masks and how he felt ashamed or something. But there's no need to feel ashamed about wearing a mask because it's for your own. If he feels comfortable in wearing it, like I did, I felt comfortable, but I was feeling comfortable now and again. Other days I didn't, I didn't wear one. Some days I did. It's strange how these governments and councils and state officials they are very clever in manipulating everyone, aren't they, Taylor?
Yes, exactly, and it's just like Paul. I'm assuming you saw Paula, who was on as well. During basically, she's honestly, if you ask me, she's the nicest person I've ever met, and she's exactly right. We shouldn't be getting on each other just because she's like. She's exactly right. We shouldn't be getting on leads for wearing a mask just because he feels that he doesn't do it because he thinks he'll be safe from a virus. He does it because he feels it's the only way to be safe from people harassing him and basically getting on him. And I'm not going to get on him for that. As long as he's not telling me to wear a mask, I'm fine with it. But as long as he's an adult, he has every right to do what he thinks is best for himself. As long as you just don't and place that on me. There's not an issue.
Yeah, in your area there, Taylor, if you went into the shop without a mask on, say for example, this is just an example. If you went into a shop without a mask on, and then you got stopped by, say, one of the staff or security staff or whatever, and told you to put a mask on or you have to leave, what would you do? And is there fines in your area as well? What is the fine?
I don't know the exact number of the fine, but I'm assuming it's probably not much different from where you guys got it. Because I personally don't. Sorry, I can't really answer that question. I don't really know the answer, but I'm assuming it can't be much different from you guys because we operate on pretty much the same systems.
Yeah. So if you went into the shop without a mask on, and the security staff come to you and said, "Can you put a mask on or you leave?" What would you do?
Well, first of all, I would tell him. I would tell him no. I would, and if they kept getting on me about it, I would give them some kind of excuse. Now, I know that everyone, and I know that you guys have, like people like Taz have been saying, like there's exemption law saying that if you just say that you have like say anxiety towards masks or you have a breathing problem or whatever, and that you don't have to, and that all you have to do is just say that, and you don't actually have to prove it because they have no right to. And basically, what I'm saying is I don't know if that's the case here in America because I haven't really gotten into that situation, but basically, if they got on me enough, I would just say fuck it. I would leave.
Yeah.
I would never touch the mask. It's like I'm not going to be bullied into wearing a mask by a bunch of fucking idiots who do what their superiors tell them to do because oh my god, I need the paper money. I need the paper money. It's like no, I'm sorry.
So you'd go and shop elsewhere, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
and you wouldn't go back there. Would you go back there again? No. If
the people in charge of the store was inept enough to allow that to happen, I wouldn't go back. No, they ain't getting my money.
Yeah. You see, now I'll just bring you in, Jason, after this as well, to see whether you agree about this, there, Jason. But in this country, it is slightly different, but. All the shops class themselves as private land. Like if you go in with a mobile phone and filming, like videoing, some shops will say, no, you can't do that in here. You have to leave like that because it's private sort of like land. And I suppose that's the same with this face mask thing. It's down to discretion. So some shops in this country is fine. Like, they wouldn't say enough to start with. They will say, or everyone was nervous or whatever, maybe, about going in the shop without a mask on. But now time's rolled and it's going on and on and on. People are now sort of thinking well, I've seen that person going in without a mask. I can go in without a mask. And I think now the staff, I've noticed that they don't tell you now. You have to, can you put a mask on? They don't even tell you, not even the security in say Morrison's or or like the other supermarkets what I've been in. Have you found that, Jason, or do you have or is it different for you?
Well,
In
like I
in
say,
this country,
I've been to Co-op today, our local Co-op, and it's quite big, but it's like in a slalom now because I'm on my Spaz chariot, and it's not got a very good turning circle, so I'm having to do a lot of 3-point turning around all things because it's not that big. But nobody's wearing masks. There were one guy who were restocking shelves that had got one of them windscreens on, but he'd not got a mask on underneath. I don't know what he thought that windscreen were going to do, and perhaps he thought he would. I don't know, driving along in his big rig. The thing in front of him were his. I don't know, but nobody else had a mask on. No member of staff, no customers, people going past each other. People were saying to each other, people were waiting behind me, and I noticed they've not got masks on, and I were like trying to choose something from aisle, and they were waiting behind me. I said, "You're all right to go past, mate," and they just went past. No masks on, but what they were doing is because. Look, I can get away with just about because I'm disabled and I've got one leg, and nobody's gonna have a go at me. Well, apart from Lee Garrett and his boyfriend, but I can pretty much get away with so I can't get away with saying things to people like you're an idiot for wearing that mask but I don't do that. I leave it up to other people's choices. It's that everyone's got their own choice, and those people behind me, they were waiting behind me because they didn't know whether I was frightened of this fucking virus or not. So, and because they could see, I'm in on a mobility scooter, so I'm obviously somebody that's vulnerable, shall we say. And they didn't know whether it were okay to pass me, and I just said, "You just go past, lads," and they just went past. Nobody cared. Nobody cares. It's just now they're trying. You see, they've tried to make it. You look at the TV adverts, and I know people will go, "Oh, what's a TV?" And I had TV, and I applaud you people who've not got a TV, who don't have a TV, but I've got a TV, I've got a wife, I've got a normal family life, and so we do occasionally sit down and watch TV together, because that's a big part of us lives, but. It's like the normalization that they're trying to bring in. It reminds me of when you're talking about Edward Bernays and the tortures of freedom. You remember that one where they wanted because in 50s it were. Frowned upon if women smoked, right? So Edward Bernays wanted to. This tobacco company went to him and said, "We need to increase the sales." And he says, "Well, you get women to smoke, you double your sales." And he says, "Well, yeah, but it's like it's a bit of a taboo." So he says, "Well, what you do is you put an ad in the paper that on a certain day." In Times Square, I think it were, that women would be lighting up what they call torches of freedom and cigarettes. And so loads of women gathered and started smoking. And this got widespread, published widespread everywhere. And, fag sales increased. As you would imagine, women started smoking. It wasn't taboo anymore, but we're getting it with this. We're getting that sort of normalization with these masks. I mean, what they're actually saying that these masks have got no benefit whatsoever. It's no medical benefit. It says it at the bottom of the screen. Right at the bottom of the screen. No medical benefit whatsoever. Not PPE. And they're selling them. And people are going to buy them. People are going to buy them. People are going to. It's Vistaprint. People are going to have pictures of the mouths, right? They send a picture of themselves to Vistaprint and say, "Put my mouth on." They are.
Oh yeah. If you don't mind me interrupting, I just want to say, I was in a flower shop. They actually were selling masks there. They had a whole section for masks in a fucking flower shop. I was face palming so hard. I was like, "Are you serious? Are you fucking serious?"
It makes you. When you see stuff like that going on, it makes you feel uncomfortable, doesn't it? A bit.
Oh yeah, it definitely.
Because it's weird. Like it's not normal. It's something. This is right. It you mentioned Mark Devlin and all this, that, and the other, right? This mask stuff is a satanic sort of sign, isn't it? It's a satanic thing, isn't it? They shut people up, don't they, every day? Who speak the truth, don't they? The same as like Google, Facebook, and all this, that, and the other. If you notice,
what you've got,
they don't. If you don't,
go on, Richard.
If you notice, right, Google, Facebook, and all these big, like the biggest companies, they always sort of cut people off somehow. They always if there's so many listeners going on a certain channel on YouTube or Facebook, they'll cut them off or delete them off. If it's to do with against what the television is saying. That's basically how I get it. It's total opposite. There's two sides. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think there's more than two sides. I think there's about 1 billion sides, isn't there? I understand what you mean.
But to make it simple,
you've got to look somewhere else. I mean, you can't just stick to one source. You need to look somewhere else, even if that's just one other source. I'm not sat here trying to. I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling anything at all. All I'm doing is I'm sitting here, and then tonight I decided that we're going to come on. I've got 60 people watching us now. Okay, that's pretty good for this sort of channel, and that's down because we've been last couple of weeks. It's just gone down and down. So it's the equivalent of book burning. The Nazis, when they burnt the books with all the information in it. Anything that was there, it's book burning, but you continue to do it, and we stay under the radar of YouTube. We don't know, they don't bother us. On the odd occasion, I get something, perhaps some. In fact, the last time was when I played a Mamas and Papas record, just a little bit of it for a guy on the show, and I got copyrighted for that. But apart from that, I mean, we stay under the radar. Dalai Lama has said, "Where's Owen?" I don't know. Portugal, I think. I don't know. I really don't know. I've not heard from him since the last show we did together. I've not heard anything from him. I don't know what's happened. Same with Webby. Webby seems to have just cut me out of stuff.
I think they might be waiting, Jason. They might be waiting for the right time to come in, maybe.
Well, I did. Yeah. Okay. No,
By the way,
Go on.
I just want to say about the book burning thing. I honestly have a lot of doubts about the legitimacy of the whole Nazi book burning story, because it's been told to us over and over through the mainstream media. So all these evil things that the Germans so-called did, I just have a hard time believing most of it. To be honest, like if it wasn't pushed so hard by the MSM, then I would be less skeptical. But yeah, I know that may sound crazy, but that's just honestly how I feel about it. Because usually the MSM are usually talking, like when they say that this guy did this, they're usually talking about themselves. Like it's usually projection.
You see,
Like
that's what I like. You see, that's what I like about you, Jason. I mean, Taylor. When I watch this show, and then you come on, I know, like, you laugh and jokes and that sometimes, like, about you and all of that. You can't be naked on camera, Taylor, and all of that. Yeah,
it's like a joke. Me and Jason.
Yeah, but when you come on, I've noticed you're very sensible, and you know exactly, like, what to talk about very quickly. Do you know what I mean?
I personally don't feel that way about myself. Like whenever I do my own shows, I end up just if I don't have someone to talk to and I'm just sitting there by myself, I just usually I can go for several minutes at a time, not saying anything, like going duh. I don't know, like how many of my shows you've watched. Like, 'cause I know you said you watched my show before, but I just have a hard time speaking when I'm by myself. Like I think because Jason's been at it a lot longer than me, so he has a lot more experience, and I think it's really good to be able to just be able to talk in front of a camera all by yourself to an audience. And not just not just look like an idiot just going duh over and over, because that's honestly how I feel about myself.
Yeah. But like, just quickly there, just off topic there, right, Taylor. If I was to ask you to talk about, say, Las Vegas in 30 seconds, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as a load of bollocks, because that's pretty much what all major shooting events are, to be honest, whether it be a school shooting or just as like any of these big events, like there's always some kind of bollocks going on there. Some obviously more than others.
See, there you go. See? So that's where you've got your intelligence there, Taylor, you see. So like on any subject like that, you'd know straight away how to go in and what to look for straight away. Same as Jason knows his stuff. That's what makes this channel good, I think, because it's not like from a script. It's like straight from the horse's mouth.
Yes, I freaking hate channels that just script everything like robots, and that it's like blah 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 blah. Stuff you've heard a million times before, because easy views. People like Alex Jones.
Look, Taylor will be all right. He'll be able to do his own show, and he'll get more subscribers and more people watching, and he'll get easier and easier. He'll be all right. He just needs to tweaking just that little bit, and he'll be fine. So he'll be all right. You can take over when I die. I'll send you all what I'll do is I'll have an email ready with all passwords to Raconteurs News and all that sort of stuff. And
Jason,
when I die, it'll get sent to you.
Jason, I don't think you're going to die yet, mate.
I fucking hope not. Fuck's sake.
If you are on death's bed, I'll send Taylor to be the surgeon.
Honestly, with the way with my eating habits, I'm probably going to die before you do, Jason. Honestly.
Anyway, let's not talk about death. I mean, that's bad enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's bad enough that there's a funeral company in this country called Die Happy.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Hang on, let me see if I've got it. I think I've still got it up on here. I'll put it up, I think.
And even on the advert, Jason, they even take the Mickey out of their own name.
What the fuck? But then again, it doesn't. Actually, that reminds me of something. I've been seeing commercials lately for a drink that has the name Corona in it, appearing on videos. Freaking like a drink named Corona, and I'm just thinking, Wow, you guys aren't even freaking trying anymore, are you?
Dude, Corona's been a beer for years in Britain.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the point is that we're just now seeing that I'm just now seeing advertisements for it as of like about a month ago. That seems suspicious to me.
Well,
That's because the virus is
Corona.
Sorry.
Also, you guys have a company called Virgin Media, right? I'm just like, why is it called Virgin Media? Like Virgin Media? Like, come on.
Well, the bloke that started it, he's one of Jeffrey Epstein's mates.
Oh, wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Branson.
Oh, Richard. Yeah, I've heard of that name before. I don't really know much about him, but yeah, I've heard that name before, Richard Branson.
Yeah. Chris O'Rourke's. Hello to everyone who's in chat room. I'm sorry. It's really hard to read it, when you've had a few beers. Chris O'Rourke says Corona beer is shite. Rick Woods says there was a Q drop with the word Corona in it a couple of years ago. What's a Q drop? Don't know.
Is it that Q thing from the Trump? The Trump thing.
QAnon. The QAnon shit. And actually, I want to mention that real quick. The MSM lately has been talking about quote unquote conspiracy theories regarding stuff like Corona and all that, and they always cite QAnon and Trump. They always say, "Oh, these are all people that are working for QAnon that want to see Trump succeed in the White House." And okay, so you're labeling everyone who think for themselves as a member of QAnon, like that's very ignorant. But obviously they're doing it on purpose, just to freaking just to make every one of us look bad. Just like what.
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I've seen some videos of. I think there's a YouTube channel called QAnon research or something, and I watched some of the videos are sort of like real to life, and then others are like sort of like sci-fi. So I don't really know. I'm not really up on that at the moment. I think that's more Americans, isn't it, Taylor?
Yeah,
like
QAnon. Yeah, that's more of an American thing than anything, but they also have support in other countries as well, because it's like they can't make it too obvious, because if it was just America, then it'd be like like there's something suspicious. But yeah, Trump, it's like you can tell if they're part of this QAnon nonsense, if they're constantly going, Trump is the best, Trump is an amazing man, we need to get him in for 2020 and all that shit. That's
yeah. Hello, Mushroom Management. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah.
I had a great contribution from you tonight. Listen, what I wanted to ask you were just talking about Trump, right? Now, I don't know about you, but I reckon I'd like to see another 4 years of Trump.
Yeah.
Just for the entertainment factor?
Exactly. Just for that. Just because he makes everybody squeal and pull their hair out and go racist, misogynist, homophobe, and all this sort of shit. And all he's really doing is just, the stuff he's tweeting out and that. I think he just does it to enrage all these people. I'd like to see another 4 years of Trump. I mean, I don't want.
Well, the thing is,
you don't really want Joe Biden getting near anybody, do you?
Yeah, fuck Biden. but the thing is that all of this anti-Trump and like pro-Trump and like stuff like you hear the MSM constantly bashing Trump, and you hear Trump freaking on social media saying all this and that. It's all freaking. It's all planned. It's all freaking. It's all scripted. Trump every day, he's another Ronald Reagan. He literally was an actor before he became president, and he freaking and he's just he wakes up every morning. He's told what to say on Twitter or whatever, and then after that, the MSM are told, hey, you guys need CNN, you need to attack Trump today. Well, you Fox News, you go and support Trump. so we can divide the people more between who likes Trump and who likes Biden. You know, it's a Hollywood sideshow. That's all this freaking Trump stuff is.
But that's all it's ever been. I mean, if you go back, think about it, right? Think about when 9/11 happened. I mean, do you think George W. It's as if they put him in these places so that they can go, well, it was him that did it, not us. You know, like, you know, when they say, we've been attacked. Oh, right, okay. Who were the people that were attacking us? Well, most of them held Saudi passports. They were Saudi citizens. And Bush goes, okay, well, let's just go and kick the shit out of Afghanistan. That'll fucking show them. And then if we don't get the message, then we'll fucking do Iraq. You know.
Well, the thing about that is specific. Oh, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Iraq, the plan to invade Iraq was put on Bush's desk literally the day before 9/11, and he was going to sign it on his way back from Florida, I believe he was in, because he was at an elementary school at the time. He was there was a thing on his desk literally saying, "Hey, do you want to attack Iraq?" And then so this was before 9/11. But yeah, and the funny thing is, I remember watching the CNN broadcast on YouTube, and within like 5 or 10 minutes after the second plane hit, you hear Osama bin Laden's name drop saying that he was behind it. Literally within minutes. It's just. Oh, and by the way, I just want to answer the Nick in the comment section real quick. It's. Yeah, who would you choose? You know, it's like, who would you rather have than Trump or Biden? I'm like, why do we have to have either one of them? Why can't we just have neither one of them? Why can't we just have neither of them?
Why can't they have you, Taylor?
Me as president, that would be fun. It's like, I'm gonna make everyone watch anime in the U.S. That's gonna be a new law.
So you're going to be worse than Trump then. You're going to be more hated than Trump. I mean, Trump, I don't even think Trump's hated me. I think the hatred towards him is all created. It's all in media. You know, I don't think he's hated. I don't think normal people hate him, and he's increased employment. You know, he's done what he said he was going to do, and not many politicians do. Well, no politicians do that. So you know, I just like to see another 4 years of him. That's all.
Yeah, at least
it's like I really, really, really wanted to watch Die Hard 2. You know, when it came out, I really wanted to watch that, and the for the same reason I want to see Trump Mark 2, because it's entertaining.
Yeah, because maybe there's a possibility of what Trump is saying could be true, or some of what Trump is saying could be true.
Also, at least he's more entertaining than fucking Boris. I've seen him. Literally, he looks just like Donald Trump. They look like brothers. They look almost clones.
Taylor, I'll tell you something. Boris Johnson is like some sort of like. I'm not being nasty or nothing, but Boris Johnson is like a learning disability person. When he's going about doing this public meetings in hospitals and everything like that, you see him. He's fumbling about. He's going and he's scratching his head all the time, and you're seeing him on television. What kind of a leader is that for a country?
Well, I mean? If you think that's bad, look at the Queen's father, the one King George VI, who was before the Queen. He had basically the same thing going on as Boris, especially with.
What is it about? Like, why do they have to do that? You know, why? How can someone like that become prime minister, or like say, well, Trump? Like, yes, you know, some things what you say is good, some things is bad or whatever. but people take the mickey out of Trump because of his tan lines around his face, like his orange, or and also his hair, don't they? So like, what is this? Is this something that needs to be done so people actually has someone to blame for stuff that they don't feel good about? Because if not, you might as well live in China, like to be really like ruled upon, like where they got straight hair and they do not make a joke or nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the Boris and sorry to interrupt you, but it's like Boris and Trump. They're just figureheads. They're literally just presidents of corporations, and they're told what to say and what to do every day. And they're basically the people that we're supposed to hate, that we're supposed to blame for all our problems. And that's the same as Obama, same as Theresa May. All of them. It's just like they're just they're people for us to project our hatred on, when the people controlling them are really the ones that we should be going after. The big corporations and them who put these people in charge.
Well,
do you think the big corporations are like the media?
Well, they have more. Well, it depends on which corporations you're talking about.
Of course, it's the media. The media is everything. Everything's the media. If there's no media, there isn't anything else after it, right? It's the first stepping stone. If the media wasn't where it is and doing what it's doing, they would have no chance. All the revolutions that have ever happened, all the revolutions that have ever happened have not happened on TV. I mean, even the Romanian, the one that you can remember last in '89 when Ceausescu and his wife and his children were all killed, executed. They got rid of them. They got them out. They wanted them gone. A proper revolution. The people were there. They were tried and executed. Right now, whatever you think about that, we've got here is we've got an extra line in front of that. We've got media which is protecting these scumbags. I would just about to say when me and Andy when we first started this show. And I'll try and find it somewhere. I'll try and find it. But we used to have a guy on who did. He used to talk finance with us and stuff like that. And it were back in the day. We're back in 2015. Early 2016. I think we were January 2016. And I actually said on the show, I said to him, so. What you're telling me is we could, at some point, live in a world where Boris Johnson is the Prime Minister of Great Britain and Donald Trump is the President of the United States. And he said, yes. And I just said, bollocks.
Yeah.
Well, there's also Jon Major as well, Mr. P, man, green peas. I'm talking about Jon Major. You remember Jon Major, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jon Major. Yeah, he used to be on Spitting Image as well. He was funny on Spitting Image.
That shit was funny. They should put. Is Spitting Image still running today? I don't know.
I think they're going to bring out a new version of it.
A more sanitized one, I'm guessing. Probably. You can't make fun of politicians anymore.
A more like a politically correct one. So you can't get away with it like you did in the 80s and 90s. That'll be more like politically correct. No blacks, no nothing like that. That'll just be like most probably be crap. Perhaps like the odd joke with Boris Johnson stuttering, or Trump with his tans or something like that. Could be something like that, but nothing like. I don't think that'd be nothing like it was before. I honestly don't think they'd get away with it, because Ofcom is like banning everyone.
Well, it's a waste of time. Spitting Image coming back. I mean, the Spitting Image it's something that shouldn't have been brought back. I mean, we've used their on this show we've used some of their stuff. When I had a guest on from South Africa, I played in the middle. I played I've never met a nice South African, the spitting image version. So it's comedy's gone.
Yeah, it has.
Can't be funny anymore unless you're prepared to take. Well, if you're going to be in if you're prepared to take it, then there's comedy. Anything's funny. Anything can be joked about. Anything can be laughed about. Anything. There's no subject that cannot have a joke that's got that at its core.
Well, exactly, Jason. Any subject, any subject can have a joke about it. If any mind of any subject and anything you talk about, you can make a joke out of it. But you can't do it now because, like, if you do, you could be ridiculed, you could be banned, or whatever. Like, or it's ridiculous. Like, you got to keep straight faced, and just like speak very slowly and not shout. And that's how it is. Like, in this day, it's ridiculous.
But we shouldn't get the same kind of joke.
Some Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald, he'll joke about fucking anything, and I mean absolutely fucking anything. I'll tell you one of his fucking jokes. He'll joke about anything. He said, back in the day, when slave owners owned slaves, he said, if you'd had a particularly good slave and he retired, did you give him some golden chains?
Oh,
you know what I mean? But
Jason.
But we probably shouldn't make the same joke that Vinny Eastwood was making when he was on. Remember the one about the children?
Oh no! I was quoting Norm Macdonald.
No, I know, but I'm talking about. I'm just saying that we probably shouldn't make a joke about the the children being sacrificed and pedophilia and all that. That's
no, of course you don't make a joke about that. But you can make a joke. You can make a joke about pedophilia. You can make a joke about pedophilia. Yeah. I've told it on this show. Yeah. I've told it on this show before, where a paedophile moves into a new town, does a paedophile. He moves into a new town and he finds other paedophiles, and he says, "Where can you find kids around here?" And the other paedophile says to him, "Well, it swings and roundabouts."
Wait, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, it swings and roundabouts. It means that it's this or that. Over here, swings and roundabouts means over here. If you say swings and roundabouts, it's like, well, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's crap. You know what I mean? It's swings and roundabouts. That's what it means.
Oh, okay.
But because the connotations of a playground and children and the paedophiles, that's a good joke. It's a good joke. You can joke about anything. Anything can be funny. Anything.
Yeah, I just saw Matt Y in the chat. He said Roy Chubby Brown, I think he said, was a good comedy, but that's no longer legal now, is it? Apparently, like with what Chubby Brown was saying about all this stuff.
Probably not. No.
But yeah, I remember watching him.
This is our heritage, and this is what we're losing for these PC knobheads. I mean, you can't watch anything now. You watch anything and it's got a what were it? I think it were an episode of Only Fools and Horses, and we were just watching it on Gold, I think, and it said, oh God, what did it? It said, beware. It's got what was the word it used? It said like old language. you know. And I think he'd said something in it that he'd referred to. I don't know. He'd referred to something, but it said it had got old language in it. So they're giving you warnings. It's not going to be long before you won't be able to watch Only Fools and Horses. You won't be able to watch Alan Partridge. I'm Alan Partridge. One of them. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said on one of your other shows before there, Jason, a long time ago, you had that man on talking about the Bible, how they've renamed everything, how they're like, you know, they're renaming everything like to a modern sort of like new age. And then the other day, you had that woman on about this history, like, you know, this renaming history. This is all happening because, like, how did we even know what happened in, like, say, the 1600s? Or like, you know, the 17. How did we actually know? We actually, the only way we know is what we're being told.
Exactly.
From the people higher up, what they want us to know. That's what that is. That's what they want us, and how history has changed. When I was a kid, I learned all about the Great Father of London, all this in history lessons and all this. They ain't got that out of schools now. I don't think they're all teaching them all different crap about being a lesbian or a gay.
Oh yes, did you hear? Actually, did you hear about this yesterday? I'm not sure if you watched the reality chats, but but they said on there starting in September, they're going to be teaching kids that they're going to be lowering the age of consent to 4 years old. Yeah, exactly. That's how ridiculous can you get? This is them, but this is the government's doing it. How can that? And I'm pretty sure there must be lots of teachers and like people like that who teach children, young children, who disagree with it, and they're feeling very frustrated about it. And I'm pretty sure that before long there will be another strike. Can you remember there was a teacher strike? But saying that, social workers will have a heyday, won't they? Taking the children for the royals. Yep. But of course, that I mean, you can't say that to people because they'll call you a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Well, yeah, they can. But yeah, that's when it's too late. You see, when it starts happening, because they've already been warned already. Like everybody knows this already about your child can be taken from you no matter what. And like when it happens on big scale, that's when people will realise. But it'll be too late.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel sorry for when the kids go back to school. If some of the kids have COVID, or they say they have COVID, oh, they got a symptom, I will take them away. Or that parents are not allowed to actually come and get them. They're going to be taken to somewhere else. And you're like, you know, what sort of bollocks is that?
If that happened to me, I would. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this will cause major problems because you can imagine if they do that to people who live in, I'll say, like not posh areas. I'm saying like people who are polite and agree with the government, but like areas where they do not like respect, like the council, the police, and stuff like that. If the education system, the council sends them a letter saying like, you know, we have to take your children away, they're not going to give their children up willy-nilly. They will go out fighting. They're not going to have the council around on this track and trace system. I'll tell you that now. If the council knock on the door saying we want your details because we think that your child has got whatever, they're going to get a punch in the face.
Yeah, I tell them to fuck off. That's what I would tell them. So yeah, like you can keep your COVID test to yourself. Like, and what absolutely disgusts me is that my own little brother works for the fucking military, and he's currently working with this stupid COVID testing shit. And I tried telling him so many times, this is bollocks. This is fucking stupid. And he's like, oh, you don't know. You're not on the front lines. You don't know anything. You know that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah.
Well, do you know, it's a fucking absolute outrage. The bloke who brought me my weed earlier on, he didn't have a mask on either. I said to him, wait, I said, Dad, come back when you've got a fucking mask on.
Well, you're all breathing the same breath, Jason.
Fucking hell.
But one of Bruce's breath is Watson though, because he's probably breathe his own farts.
Oh,
Watson's
What's
on,
that?
laid on. He's asleep on bed with his mother. With his mother.
Yeah. Just quickly there, Jason, because I got to go in a minute. But it's been nice, like chatting. But what's that football shirt you got on?
It's an old Dutch away shirt.
Ah, what's that team then?
Holland.
Oh yeah. Oh right, yeah.
National side.
Have you been following the 2020 thing on BT Sport?
Well, I didn't till everyone got knocked out.
Ah, okay.
All ours got knocked out, didn't they? All English ones got knocked out. Man City got hammered. Man United got beat. So, what's the point?
Perhaps next year.
Perhaps next year, yeah. Well, it's unusual for us to not have somebody in final, but it's been a weird year, hasn't it? I mean, this year, I saw a picture on Facebook that just about summed it up and said this is 2020, and it were somebody who'd got the ball sack stuck in the zip.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Well, that's what 2020's been like.
Oh, yo, Jason, Webby called you by.
Oh yeah.
It's because the Webster report. It's because Jace is bi.
That's right. If I can't get sex, I go out and buy it.
Right. Well, I'm not. I'm going to go now. There, Jason and Taylor. It's been lovely talking to you both, and hopefully I can speak to you again another evening about some sort of topic, whether it be masks or the council or whatever, and everybody else who's listening. It's been very, very nice, as so thank you, Jason.
And thanks, Richard, for calling in as well.
Yeah, thank you, Jason, and have a nice evening, my friend.
And you.
It was nice talking to you, Richard.
Yeah.
Cheers, Richard.
Cheers, Taylor. Cheers, Jason, and everyone in the chat. Cheers.
Yeah.
There we go. That was Richard from Kings Lynn there. Anyway, what Taylor? I think we're about coming to end at broadcast. What were we? 2 hours and 7 minutes. I don't even do that on a fucking regular show. You mind after dark. And now you've got me up doing this. Oh, yeah. Big thanks to Richard there for jumping in. Some great points. Some great points there. Oh, some great points there, weren't there? They were. Yes. Hopefully we'll speak to him again very soon. Anyway, I'm going to go outside before we go, Taylor.
Well, I just want to say, everyone, do your best to try to get by. Don't let the stress get to you. That's the last thing we want, is to fucking get depressed and shit and end up freaking just wanting to just say fuck this world. We don't want to go. We don't want to go there. Do. I know it sounds cheesy, but do your best.
Yep. And if you get depressed and think about it, just think to yourself, I could be Taylor.
Yes, exactly. you could be
or me even. Yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in on this. It's Thursday night, isn't it? Yeah. On this Thursday night. Don't forget, on Tuesday, I've got Sharon coming on, Sharon Gale, and we'll be talking about what's his dude, the Chancer, as we'll call him. All right. So cheers, Taylor, mate. See you later, pal.
Yeah, but before you leave, though, yeah, you can end the broadcast. But I wanted to ask you a couple things.
Oh God, you do this every fucking time.
I'm sorry. No. I
He's
rather
worse
say it all.
than Columbo. Honestly, he's worse than Columbo. Just one more thing. Just one more thing.
No.
One more thing.
After the broadcast, I just end the. I want to talk to you off air.
All right, off air. Okay. All right, off air. We'll do that off air. Thank you very much to everyone who's listened tonight. It's been brilliant, and we'll speak to you again on Tuesday. We got Sharon Gale on Tuesday, and 2 shows a week. Like I said, Tuesdays are going to be when I try to get interviews on, and then another day in the week, like today's been, where I just do whatever we can. All right. Well, thanks a lot. Take it easy, and have a great